Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you guys are doing well. It's time for another viewer choice video from the Box of Truth. Box of fragrance video suggestions? That doesn't have a good ring to it. So I've done a few of these, but in case you're unaware of what this is, I have a post on my community tab on my YouTube channel where you can go on there and make video request ideas. And then they get cut out randomly and put into here. I don't see what they are until I pull one of them out, and then I just have to do the video. So what is today's subject? Okay. From Dizzy Roth, Le Parfum / Parfum Madness. Nothing but your favorite high concentration fragrances. Okay, Le Parfum, Parfum Madness. Let's see, what should the rules be? So I guess for this one, the fragrances will have to have Le Parfum or Parfum in the name. So here we go. I'm gonna grab the fragrances. Let's do the video. All right, I gathered everything up off cam. So these are Parfum and Le Parfum fragrances. No Eau de Parfum because you said specifically Parfum, Le Parfum. Plus it makes it more difficult if you just say Parfum, Le Parfum because a lot of different companies will use Eau de Parfum. It's more popular. So I've got 12 here, I guess 13, but one of these I'm just gonna have as a bonus because it's kind of hard to find. So let's run through these. These are some friggin' sick Parfum and Le Parfum fragrances, and they are all designers because designers are all about flankers and throwing Parfum or Le Parfum on the end. You don't see it quite as much in niche, so kept it a little simple, designer mode. Kicking it off with Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Dior is just a little treasure trove of Parfum fragrances. I only used 2 though for this. Realistically, I could have done a lot more, but I'm keeping it, keeping it light on the Dior, just 2. Fahrenheit Le Parfum, probably the best one in the line that you can get right now on the market. It's pricey, sometimes it's difficult to locate, but it is absolutely worth it. The gasoline type vibe from the original Fahrenheit is toned down here. You get this booziness to it, this sweetness. Fahrenheit Le Parfum is sexy, the performance is there, it's classy, it smells absolutely amazing. If for some reason I lost control of my extremities and I launched it over there and shattered it, I would have a new bottle ordered before I was done with this video. I would also really be angry with myself, but I would do that. Well, heck with it. Let's just do the Christian Dior's right away. The next one is Dior Homme Parfum. Probably not a big surprise. Dior Homme is an awesome line of fragrances, except they're changing it around a whole lot, but they still can't take away my love for the iris that they had running through these fragrances back before they decided to kind of switch everything up a bit. Now this one is even more of a pain in the butt to find than Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Fahrenheit you can usually still pick up at discounters, even though when you see the price you're not going to think it's a very good discounted price. You can still at least buy it. This one though in the US can get a little crazy. So Dior Homme Parfum is gonna take that iris from the original Dior Homme line. Dior Homme Intense comes to mind, and it ramps it up and it gives you this powerful leather note that makes this stuff last forever. It will last until King Tut comes back to life because of some ancient Egyptian curse. It will still be on your skin, and it projects heavily as well, which you would expect. Dior Homme Parfum, Fahrenheit Le Parfum, those are killer scents. You gotta have those. Those are the first 2 that I grabbed. After that, let's go Le Male Le Parfum. Again, iris, but not used in the same way as the iris in Dior Homme Parfum. Dior Homme Parfum is that Dior Homme style iris. Some people say lipsticky, makeup-y, whatever you want to call it. That's what you're going to find in Dior Homme Parfum. The iris in Le Male Le Parfum, it's not full on, soapy, not full on powdery like you're going to find in Prada or anything like that, but it's also not to the extreme of the Dior Homme side. So, it's splitting the difference a little bit. It has some nice sweetness to it, a little bit of spiciness in here, as well the Le Male DNA front and center, but modernized and given a great change of pace. Really makes this a very wearable fragrance. Le Male Le Parfum, great release. Absolutely love that stuff. So yeah, of course I'm gonna keep that. Now, one of my newer ones, Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Parfum. Yes, friggin' iris again. I swear not all of these have iris, I promise you. But these last 3 that I've talked about do. So Yeah, this one was a nice big surprise. I mean, I didn't expect it to suck. Narciso Rodriguez, typically their fragrances are good, but I was still surprised at how much I did like it. This one is gonna slot in with the Dior Homme Intense, Gentleman Eau de Parfum, Valentino Uomo Intense style of iris fragrance. So whereas I said Le Male Le Parfum is not quite that, this one is more like that. The iris in this one does come across more powdery, so do keep that in mind. Off my skin, it's got a decent touch of powder to it. Then you have a little bit of woodiness, tonka, and suede in here as well. It's a great release, absolutely helps fill that hole in my heart that iris is always there to fill. And I think it's a really nice scent, a nice addition to the line. Now this one, I'm straight up cheating, okay? So this is the only one where I fudged the rules a little bit. It's Acqua Di Gio Profumo. Parfum, it works. Obviously, Acqua Di Gio versatility, Acqua Di Gio DNA, got that incense in here, giving it a little more wearability in cooler weather. Probably the most hyped Acqua Di Gio outside of the original when it first came out and everybody went crazy for it. So Acqua Di Gio Profumo, yeah, we'll throw that in there. We'll throw in a little ADG, get a nice little parfum fragrance that we can wear during the summer. You remember how I said not everything in this list has iris? Well, the next one has iris too. Yeah, sorry. I'm coming to realize that for new fragrance releases that are Parfum or Le Parfum flankers, that just means they have iris. Is that the new rule? I'm not sure. The fragrance is the scent Le Parfum from Hugo Boss. Of course, like I just mentioned and rambled on, it does have iris in here. The iris in this fragrance though is a bit of a sweeter take to my nose than you're gonna find in the few that we've talked about that have iris so far. It's more of a sweet, woody iris fragrance. That Manitka fruit, of course, coming through very strongly, like pretty much everything in the scent line. And there was also the Scent Parfum edition, which was a limited edition, came in a black bottle that I've got back there, that also had iris, but that one was much more iris forward, whereas this one is much more of a, as I mentioned, a sweet take. After that, we're going with some maximum versatility with YSL Y Le Parfum. Some people are gonna say this is redundant if you already own the Eau de Parfum. Definitely quite similar, so don't go into this thinking it's gonna be hyper different from the Eau de Parfum, but it does have enough differences to stand on its own. So we're going more aromatic, fresh, sweet with a touch of darkness here. It's maybe a little bit too heavy, a little bit too cloying for summertime use, but outside that, you can rock this about any time, anywhere. Tonka, sage, apple, some of the notes in the fragrance. Y Le Parfum, one of, if not my favorite from the entire line. For me personally, I would usually choose Le Parfum over the Eau de Parfum, but my wife prefers the Eau de Parfum. Like I said, they're really similar, but those slight differences sometimes make all the difference depending on who you're talking to. Let's just knock out the other YSL because I got another one here. La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum. This sort of gets lost in the shuffle of La Nuit de l'Homme because there are so many flankers in the line. Well, the L'Homme and La Nuit de l'Homme line. If you're just getting into fragrances and you start to look that up and you see all the different releases, where are you gonna start at? Probably the original, and then outside of that, you'll look to see maybe which one got the most hype here recently. And then there's like a billion other ones that you see and you just go, no thanks. That's just, I don't even know. And that's what happens, I feel like, for La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum for a lot of people. The scent profile here though is really nice. It's got a great vanilla note, little touch of spice, fruity sweetness in here as well. Really appealing, very easy to wear, and a lot of people out there that have smelled this one and worn it and owned it think that it's actually superior to the original La Nuit. And there is a bit of a similarity to the original La Nuit de l'Homme here as well. Maybe not as similar as like YSL Y Le Parfum is to YSL Y Eau de Parfum, but you can still pick out the DNA here. And while I don't know that I myself would say that La Nuit Le Parfum is better than the original, I think the original is a much more important fragrance overall. I do think it stands on its own as an awesome scent. Now I've got a couple fragrances that I got in more recently. These are newer releases. The Most Wanted Parfum is going to be the first one that I talk about. It does have a pretty strong similarity, once again, to the fragrance that preceded it, the Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense, I believe is the official name of that one. So you go from Eau de Parfum Intense to just straight up Parfum, basically. But this stuff smells absolutely amazing. It's got this great vanilla note to it, a little touch of smoky woodiness. It's got a gourmand edge to it, very likable. People love the way that it smells. One of those certified compliment monsters where you wear it and in the air, it's just an attention grabber. My question with that one was the redundancy, if it's really worth owning because it is so similar to the most wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. But again, taking nothing away from the fragrance, when you smell this, it smells great. And then the other one is Ralph Lauren Polo Bleu Parfum, which I surprisingly liked a pretty good amount. I'm not the biggest fan of some of the Polo Bleu fragrances. I think some of them are kind of boring or synthetic, or just both of those things, boring and synthetic. But then this is surprisingly nice. With a little bit of depth to it. Yeah, it's more of a spring, summertime fragrance, but it's not just all teeny weeny friggin' citrus notes coming off the top that are sharp and kind of aggressive and cheap smelling like hairspray. Instead, you get a little woodiness here, kind of an aromatic touch, a little bit of vetiver, slight marine feel, a little sea salty, and some citrus off the top. The quality here, to my nose, much higher than some of the other Polo Bleu fragrances from the past. And I actually like this a good amount, and it continues to grow on me. So Polo Bleu Parfum, I like that. Another blue one, Bleu de Chanel Parfum, the grown-up Bleu de Chanel. Now, admittedly, when I first smelled this, I did not really care for it. Wasn't too much of a fan. I thought it cost too much for what it was. Fast forward a couple years, I went ahead and took the plunge and bought a bottle. It is expensive, and that's gonna be the big drawback. Of course, it's Chanel, so you're not gonna find it discounted, and full retail, it is not at all close to being a good deal compared to some of the other blue style fragrances out there. But with the lavender, the woodiness in here, that little bit of lemon zest, that touch of citrus off the top that helps set everything off, it smells great. For me, it's more of a maybe like formal Bleu de Chanel, if you want to call it that. But of all the Parfum and Le Parfum fragrances, I still really like this one. Even if I would reach for the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum probably more often than this one. And then we got Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Can't leave this one out. Throwback feel to it, a mature style of fragrance with a nice little boozy liquor note and lots of woodiness. I was going to say that it's a little bit expensive, even at discounters, but then I looked down at all these fragrances and I realized right at the end of the video, basically, they're pretty much all friggin' expensive, at least as far as designers go. Apparently, Parfum Le Parfum means pay up, boy. Pasha de Cartier, though, spoken about this a bunch of times. Of course, I'm going to keep that. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you once again for another Viewer's Choice video. Again, check out that post on the community tab. Leave your suggestions. Thank you for hanging with me. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.